Guess who got brands talking? Brandlive.co.za.
Good afternoon and welcome to Love and Relationship. My name is Ndun Indun. I will be sharing with you some wisdom keys about love and relationship. Stay tuned. Welcome to Love and Relationship. My name is Ndun Indun. Today we will be sharing something very important. We will be talking about preparations for a successful marriage. Mind you, we're not talking about preparation for a wedding. You know, I believe marriage is what you have after the wedding. So today we want to see how people can prepare for marriage. You know, marriage is one thing that you may not really understand all that, it comprises of. But if you can have some ideas and you can do some preparations based on what you know about, it can help you. Because I see that a lot of people these days, they prepare for their wedding and they ignore the marriage. And that's why after the wedding, when the marriage begins, problem starts because they were not prepared. And there is a common saying that whatever you don't prepare for, maybe you're preparing to fail. So today we want to see how to give some ideas, some tips on how you can prepare for a successful marriage. A good preparation for marriage is having the right mindset, and it is also followed by walking in the right mindset you have. These two factors can help you to become the right person and also to know the right person for marriage. You need to have the right mindset towards marriage. When you are single, moving from being single to a married person, marriage is not like being single. Now you are not alone, you have someone to work with. So you need to have the mindset of working with someone. And I will say that the beginning of a good marriage relationship is not only love, but love with compatibility. The Bible says in Genesis 2:18, the Lord said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make for him a companion that is a suitable match for him." So in preparing for marriage, you need to find someone who is suitable for you, who is compatible with you. So we can see that, God made for Adam a compatible partner. Love without compatibility is like having a good food you love to eat, which is beautifully packaged and very delicious, but contains ingredients that you are allergic to. It can also be likened to finding a beautiful shoe you love so much, but it is not your size. If you wear it by force, you will experience pain all through your journey. So there are two things I really want to pick up here, and then we will go on a short break. I will be having people with me on the studio. These two things I want to pick up is building the right character for marriage and also making the right decisions before you even go into marriage, because there are pre-decisions you have to make before you go into marriage. So a good character is one of the major things that can help you prepare and succeed in marriage. The character you possess determines the kind of marriage you will have and the success of your marriage. A good character of love in preparation for a successful marriage relationship can be seen, in 1 Corinthians 13, 4-8. I like that passage of the Bible because it describes a lot of characters of love. It says love is patient, love is kind, love doesn't envy, love doesn't brag, love is not proud, love doesn't behave itself inappropriately, love doesn't seek its own, love is not easily provoked, love takes no account of evil, love doesn't rejoice in unrighteousness, but rejoices in the truth. Love bears all things. Love believes all things. Love hopes all things. Love endures all things. And it ended up by saying love never fails. So if you really want to be in the right position to have a successful marriage, I think you need to try to possess most of these characters of love, because you will be tested there. Marriage will become like an exam or, a test thing that you will have that will test your characters of love. And another thing I want to add to that is that you have to make some decisions for a successful marriage, And one of the first decisions to make is a decision for a safe dating or courtship. So you must be able to, know that, the dating or the courting you're doing is a safe thing. It's not something that will get complicated. And one of the things we tell people about having a safe dating or courtship is to abstain as much as possible from premarital sex, because it complicates things a lot. Premarital sex can cloud your sense of judgment. It can make you not see the thing you should see in the other person, which should be things that you'll be able to know that maybe this person is not right for me, or this person has these problems or these issues. So, and also, sometimes when the children come along before the marriage, it has some complications that comes with that. So you should be able to do that. And also you should be able to know and understand yourselves. And then another decision, that you should make is that you should determine that you will have no alternative to your partner and to shut the door of divorce, because these are decisions you should make before then. And another decision that can help you is that, you should make up your mind that you will build your marriage with your spouse without third-party interference. You will build it as it suits you, And another important decision is to submit, to God's word, because I believe God founded marriage. So if you want to succeed, you should learn how to submit to his word. So listeners, we will go on a short break and we will be back. And I have two great, guests here to speak with us about preparations for marriage. So stay right there.
You're listening to brandlife.co.za, an industry first in the world of internet radio. Not only are we an internet radio station, we are an internet radio platform for your brand. So why not expose your brand to potentially thousands of listeners and improve your customer relationships and brand equity with podcasts and live broadcasts? Be sure to check brandlife.co.za for more information. brandlife.co.za, harnessing the power of internet radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
The witty Tatterbots. Join myself, Carmen Murray, and my double trouble, Jessica McIndoe, with our big personalities, and we will present you with an insightful yet fun show. We will feature interviews with industry heavyweights and unpack everything from new technologies, marketing trends, and case studies to empower you to be ahead of the curve.
Brand Life.
Join us on this exciting journey every Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock and start a conversation on hashtag Witty Show. Hashtag WITEE Show. Thank you.
The Dramatic Talk with myself, Bongani Drama. Bringing you insightful conversations on the Convo Corner, your latest celebrity news on Dramatainment, and your latest fashion news on Fashion Fade.
This is Bongani.
And myself, Rose Rataka, bringing you your latest news and sports updates.
Every Wednesdays, 2 to 3 p.m. Only on www.brandlife.co.za.
You're listening to brandlive.co.za.
Welcome back, listeners. We're still here on Brand Live Radio. And today we are discussing about preparations for a successful marriage. And I'm here in the studio with two important guests. I'm here with Nadia Pretorius. Nadia has been here with us before, and I think she will be one of our frequent guests here. And I'm also here with my beloved wife, Emilia Ndun. I think they have something to say for themselves. Nadia, welcome.
Thank you.
And welcome, Emilia.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Okay. I want to, ask some questions to my guests. And I believe the questions we can interact with to understand what are the right preparations for a successful marriage. I would like to ask Nadia first. I want to find out, how important is building the right character for marriage? I mean, how important is character for marriage? And then, because you've been married for many years, you know that character seems to be like the strength of the marriage. If you don't build it like muscles, you might just get knocked out of the ring of marriage.
Yes.
So, what do you think about that?
I think it's very important to know who you are.
Okay.
And know what you want.
Okay.
And know what your needs are.
Okay.
But when we're still young and we're busy searching for our partners, we make like this list that are our requirements, what I would like in a man. But I think we take little time to find out who we are and what we would really need in a man, not want.
Okay.
So-
Okay, that's true. That's true because
Yeah.
there is a big difference between need and want. Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
So if you know yourself, if you know who you are and you know your needs, then you can choose a right person that can fulfill your needs and not your wants.
Okay.
Because I think sometimes we're so lost in getting stuff we want that we don't really soul search ourselves to find out what we really need.
Okay.
And I feel if you know yourself, if you know who you are,
Okay.
then you will have a strong character and you will know what is good for you and what is not good for you.
Okay. Can I just tip in something there? I want to ask you, after a couple have known themselves, have known the right person they want to marry, what could be some tips you could give them in preparing themselves for the marriage ahead? I mean, like, they found the right person, or they're with someone that they love. What could be the tips that you could give in helping them to prepare for marriage?
I think I always say communication is very, very important.
Okay.
When I say communication, it's important before you get married to have discussions on planning your marriage.
Okay.
And sit down and listen if the person has the same values as you regarding parenting, for instance.
Okay. Okay.
Like my husband is an authoritarian parent and I was a permissive parent. So
Okay.
it's two different parenting styles and it caused a lot of friction in our marriage because we parented our children differently.
Okay.
And it's very important to find out what the values are, what the other person's values are.
Yes,
Like before we got married, I think we actually did this, which is a miracle because I don't think we were educated or equipped to
do it,
But
yeah.
we did sit down and discuss how would we raise our children, and something that really came up a lot was we would give them physical attention, like hug them and kiss them, because both of us lacked that in our houses when we grew up. So we did sit down and discuss things, just general things, like what are our aspirations, what are we working towards,
Okay.
not just going with it, you know.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think that's very important to communicate that prior, and also it will give the other person a very good idea of who you are and what your aspirations are and what you're working towards.
Okay. No, that's great. So that's like trying to know and understand yourselves properly. What part you're playing and what part he's playing.
Yeah.
Because a couple should work as a team, not as two different individuals.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's very impressive. And I want to ask Amelia, what do you think could be the limitations of knowing and understanding someone while dating or courting? Or people who are in courtship, who have found the right person. What could be the limitations?
Marriage or relationship, I say, it's a beautiful thing. Marriage, it's a beautiful thing. But you find out that a lot of people are not enjoying their marriage. And somehow it's because of the wrong decisions, the mistakes that they made that has hindered them from doing so.
Okay.
In courting or relating with someone that you want to marry, there are a lot of things that one should look out for. People go into marriage with wrong mindset that hinders them. For example, some people will say, I will change him or I will change her. You cannot really change anyone. If you cannot change yourself, how do you change someone else? We ignore signs of negativity, signs that, the red sign, the red flag that could have helped us to stop it or to go back. For example, if a man does not respect your parent, what makes you think he will respect you or he will treat you with love, he will treat you with respect? So there are a lot of things to look out for. Ask the right questions while relating. Some people are afraid of asking questions because they are afraid of losing the person that they are relating with, so they don't ask questions. But really, if you don't ask questions, you don't know the person, you don't get to know the true person that you are relating with. So ask as many questions as possible, as many questions that cross your mind, from what you like, what you dislike. Do you have a car? Where you live? Just know everything about the person, because after this time you're in for it for a long haul. I mean, so ask a lot of questions, get to know the person, don't ignore the warning signs. If there are things that you can see that you're not going to be able to cope with, talk with the person. I mean, a broken engagement, they say, is better than a broken marriage. So you rather be single and happy than married and unhappy. So ask all the right questions and it will help you make the right decisions.
Okay, that's interesting. So we've heard that, you need to be as inquisitive as possible. I mean, I used to say to people, there is nothing wrong in even asking the person who wants to marry you, why do you really want to marry me? Why do you choose me? Why do you love me? It's important to know some of those things so that no matter the challenges you go through after you've been married, your faith in love can have a strong foundation. You can know that you are special to this person, or this is, why this person chose you. So, listeners, we will go on a short break and we'll be back and we'll continue with this interesting topic. We have some few things to touch on, and it's going to be very interesting. Please stay right there. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Brandlife.co.za is thought leadership radio. It's a new way to communicate your brand, your value, and what we think about your industry. Be a leader, be a voice, and we will help you shape your industry. Our radio platform is for thought leaders who want to share insights, businesses who want to create value for their databases, organizations who want to control their message, for those that drive change. Make your brand come alive on brandlife.co.za, harnessing the power of talk radio.
Brandlife.co.za.
Brandlife.co.za is thought leadership radio. It's a new way to communicate your brand, your value, and what you think about your industry. Be a leader.
You'll never stop at one. I'll take you all on.
Be a voice.
I have a dream.
And we will help you shape your industry. Our radio platform is for thought leaders who want to share insights, businesses who want to create value for their databases, organizations who want to control their message, for those that drive change. Make your brand come alive on brandlife.co.za, harnessing the power of talk radio.
You're listening to brandlive.co.za.
Welcome back to Love and Relationship. We're still here in the studio and we're still discussing this wonderful, important topic, preparations for a successful marriage. Remember, we're not talking about a successful wedding. For the wedding, you can go to your wedding planner. We're just trying to prepare you for your marriage. I mean, that is what happens after the wedding. After all the ceremony, the music goes off and everyone goes home. Now only you and your partner, face to face, eyeballs to eyeballs. So now the marriage begins. What do? Now you find out that many things come up and then people just say, well, I didn't know he's like this. I didn't know she's like this. Why are you behaving like this? And so please listen to us. We want to give you some tips on how to prepare. So I want to ask Nadia, I mean, having been married for years, what are the experiences you've had that maybe you would have prepared better for them if you had known about these experiences?
Okay. So I come from a divorced home.
Okay.
And my mindset was, at the time I got married when I was 24, that men leave their wives.
Okay. Serious. Okay.
Because that's a thing that happened all the time. In all my friends' lives, in my life, a divorced couple was very normal.
Wow.
So when I got married with the mindset to prepare myself for divorce.
Sure. Okay.
So that when he leaves, I will be okay. I will have enough money to look after my children. I will have everything I need to be an effective mom. So I was preparing to be alone. that is very sad.
True.
So I would definitely change that. I would change that mindset if I could, and really go into the marriage wholeheartedly, 100%, without even thinking about
Considering
divorce.
shutting the door of divorce.
Yeah,
like
shutting
we
the
said.
door.
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
would have really changed that. So in the journey that we've been, obviously we're still married, so luckily we didn't get divorced.
Okay.
So, but it was a very challenging. It was very challenging because I also had the mindset that no man will sit on my head.
Okay.
So I literally did not work with my husband at all from the beginning. If he asked me for coffee, I would say, "Isn't it your turn to make coffee now?" Because I would not submit for him to be my boss or to instruct me.
Be your leader, yeah.
To be my leader. I refused that because of my past. So it was a very long journey for me to I actually got a word from God. I think like 5 years into my marriage, God said, "I don't work with people." And I was like, "Oh Lord, I work with everybody." And he said, "Yes, you do. You work with everybody except your husband." So if anybody would say, "Nadia, make me a cup of coffee," I would say, "Sure, no problem." And I would make it. But if he asked me, I would say, "No, it's your turn now. This is 50-50, you know?"
So that was kind of due to, what you've heard and
mindset, wrong mindset.
experiences that people around you've had.
So it was walls that I put up to protect myself from being hurt.
I see.
So then God gave me this scripture, and he gave me, I think it's Proverbs 31, about a good wife. And then I became very submissive. After God had spoken to me about this, I became so submissive that I gave my husband so much power that he became a real jerk. Because he just did this and I jumped this high. So it was a wrong mindset once again from God's word. Because the way I perceived it was so wrong. I wasn't supposed to become a floor mat. I was just supposed to submit and honor my husband. So it had to sink in. And then when he became a real jerk, I thought, no, I'm not going to be married to this man anymore. And that's when we came very close to becoming divorced because I was very unhappy, really, really unhappy. And then something clicked and we sort of made it work.
Fine balance.
Wow.
The balance finally came. But it was a very difficult, let me say 7-8 years of our marriage. It was tough. I read all these books on how to change him because I wanted to change him so that we could, so that there could be
Could
magic.
have what you want,
Yes. But there was no magic. And I couldn't change him. Up to a point where I just surrendered everything to God and God actually changed me and left my husband the same. So there was nothing wrong with him in the first place. I had to learn to respect him for who he was. But God changed a whole lot in me instead.
Wow, that's interesting. So in a short while, I also want to ask Amelia here. What are the things that, you would have well prepared for if, you had known about them?
Like Nadia just said now, the wrong mindset goes a long way in a lot of relationships. When I started courting, I had in mind that if there is something in my husband that I'm not happy with, I'm going to help him change. Forgetting that it's difficult enough to change myself, let alone someone else. And that was corrected when we went to see his pastor. He asked me, "Are you happy with this area of his life?" Then I said, "It's okay for now, but I think it's going to change." And the pastor said to me, No, don't start with that mindset of if he's going to change. If you must marry him for who he is now, not for the person that he's going to be. Don't marry him thinking he's going to change, because what happens if he doesn't change? What are you going to do? So that was great insight for me. And I think I would have asked a lot more questions. This sounds silly, but I would have asked a lot more questions than I did. I mean, we ignore little things, but it's those little things that means a lot. I should have asked, do you eat a lot of spicy food? Because I promise you, it was a shock when I got married and went to his family, and The chilies that was served in the food was something else. I could not. I was sick for a week. I couldn't cope. It was something else. Maybe I should have come with a pot.
So what would you have done? Would you have not married me because of the spicy
No, we would
food?
have talked about it. That maybe.
Spicy food.
No, I'm not saying I wouldn't have married you, but I would have come in prepaid, maybe with some medication or maybe with the negotiation power to cut down on the chilies or something. But having said that, I think it's important to ask all the right questions. Leave your past where it belongs, and start with a new clean slate. People stay and see how it goes.
Wow, thank you very much. Listeners, you've heard all this. In summary, we've heard that it is good to prepare for marriage. Don't take marriage for granted. Don't think it's something that everyone knows by intuition. You just walk in and then things just happen. No, you need to work it out. Marriage is given to you as a beautiful virgin garden. It's given to you and your partner to cultivate what you want to harvest from it. So you need to plan for it. You need to discuss things that you know could bother on the marriage or could challenge your marriage, and make sure you work things out. So I will leave you here today, and I will say that you should tune in again same time next week. And if you have questions, you have things you want us to discuss on this show, please drop me a mail at livingasoneevents@gmail.com. And you can also see our website, www.livingasoneevents.com, and please like us on Facebook, Living as One Events. And please tune in again same time next week. We will have another interesting, wonderful topic to discuss. Until then, bye for now.
You're listening to brandlive.co.za.
This message was sponsored by friends and partners of Living as One Events. You are invited to our singles and married couples event featuring seminars, talk shows, Q&A sessions, single mingles, couples games, and many more. You may visit our website for details of our events and register at www.livingasoneevents.com. You can also get our books on relationships titled Why Should I Get Married and Living as One. We also do counseling for couples and singles who want to make the right decisions regarding their relationships. For more info, please contact us on 078 255 4517 or email us at livingasoneevents@gmail.com. Please tune in again for another episode of Love and Relationship. God bless you.